What's good, fam? I hope everybody is doing good. This is your weekly dosage of the YPG Something Extra. Hope you guys are having an awesome week. If not, then the YPG fam is here to connect with you guys and to ensure that whatever you're going through, we are here to help you out and hopefully answer a few questions, clear a few doubts you might have that's disturbing you. And today, we're going to be talking here in the Something Extra, which, by the way, last week we couldn't be here. We were fighting a young flu that was, attacking us. Shaka was busy, Uncle Vini was busy, so I couldn't bother them. But either way, we're back. We've made it. And that's the common resilience of the YPG fam. What I want to speak to you today is a little bit of a sensitive topic, a little more sensitive than the usual topics we share here in the YPG, although we share everything. Let's be honest here. We share practically everything. We speak about everything, always with the intuitive of helping and reaching out, reminding all of you that we as your mentors or coordinators, our vision is always to help you be one step ahead through the bad choices or the good choices we've made, to show to you that if you make the right choices, you can also reach, or how can I put this? You can actually profit and, indulge in the benefits of it. Because every good choice comes with a benefit. Although in the beginning it seems like, no, there aren't any benefits to the right choices I'm making, but eventually you will find it. And this is exactly what we try to pass to you guys. When we make good choices, we're going to advertise them. Make good choices as well, because if you make good choices, naturally you're going to reap the consequences, or the benefits rather, of those good decisions you've made. On the other hand, the bad choices are also true, and if we've made those bad choices, we are going to share them too with you guys, with the intuitive of telling you, don't make those bad choices, don't make those bad decisions, because it will bite you, and you don't deserve that for your life. What we're going to talk about today is not something different, not something we've never mentioned, but on the 21st of April, it's a Sunday, we're going to have a special day at every UCKG branch, and we're calling it the Sunday of Forgiveness. And what's really special about this is that it's something so relevant. Bishop and Miss Marcia was speaking about this last week, Sunday, and it got me thinking. It really got me really thinking about what forgiveness is all about and how powerful it is to forgive as much as it is powerful to not forgive. And we did a couple of research, not just random research, but based on things which we've noticed in people's lives. And I'd like you to reason with me and to notice that there are pros to letting go of a grudge as much as there are cons to holding on to a grudge. I'm not going to list out all of them at once, But I would like to list out a few main aspects which are very interesting, and at times we tend to ignore these specific things, these specific details which make a huge difference in our lives. And I'm going to share them with you. I'll just grab my notes here. Let's make believe that a grudge is a weight, right? So, as the title of today's Something Extra says, the heavyweight challenge. So, make believe you went to run a race, right? You enroll and you say, I want to be an athlete, I want to run. Whether it's 100 meters or a 200 meter sprint, or a 400 meter, which is also a sprint, an 800 meters now a long distance, or a 1.5 or a 3K. Whatever it is, whatever that distance is, there will be a moment where you will either need a lot of speed or a lot more of endurance, both of which are affected negatively by weights. So if you've got more weight, consequently, it'll make that race a lot harder. And naturally, your opponents aren't looking at carrying any weight. So naturally, they're going to seek to rid themselves of that weight. You usually don't see overweight people running a 100-meter race, so much less a 200, and much less a 400, and much less the 800 or 1500, whatever you want to call it, because the weight will weigh them down. Now, I want you to imagine grudge as a weight, as something which is there to weigh you, to weigh me, to weigh us down. And I'm here also speaking, knowing that it's not easy when the offense against you is something very, very deep, which might even be affecting your entire life, which might be even affecting your dreams. You might right now be carrying a grudge for something which happened when you were a kid. You might be right now holding on to a grudge from something which happened and the years have gone by and your entire life has been affected by that one moment, and you're holding on to that grudge. And I know that we always say this, we can't go back to the past. We don't have that remote in which we could just press rewind and go back. We really can't. But one thing is true. We can make the decision of letting go of the weight of yesterday. And every time you're holding on to a grudge, you're holding your life back, because you're holding on to a piece of weight, to a weight. So, based on what we were sharing here, grudges weigh you down emotionally. They make you feel angry, resentful, and hateful. Not just towards the person who did you wrong, but sometimes against others or towards others who have nothing to do with it. Have you ever seen a person who is moody? Have you ever seen the kind of person who gets along with absolutely no one, rather? There is a possibility that person's holding a grudge, or person's holding a resentment simply because someone else wronged them, and that person naturally now looks at everybody the same way or paints everybody with the same brush. I want you to think about that. I want you to ask yourself, are you happy with perhaps being bitter? Are you happy with being the kind of person whom, I'm sorry to say, no one is pleasant with when you are, or finds it pleasant when you're around? And there are many people who, unfortunately, they are victims of an offense, of something somebody did to them. However, because they are a victim, they think that it's okay to treat others in a different way, or to treat others in a negative way because they were treated in a negative way. And unfortunately, instead of just carrying one weight, now you're carrying another weight, because now nobody even wants to be around you or help you, because you're the kind of person who's got this weight, and you're taking this weight and you want others to carry that weight with you. I want you to think about that. Is it really worth it? Is there anything that's worth carrying that? Then you say, but PJ, you really don't know what happened. You really don't understand what was done to me. Honestly speaking, I might not. I might be clueless. You might have been through hell because of what somebody did to you. But my question to you, on the other hand, is it worth holding on to that weight, because somebody put that weight on you? Think about it. That's con number one, or the weight number one. Remember, this is a heavyweight challenge. Number two, carrying a grudge means that person is still living rent-free in your head. It's like they're controlling you, even if they've passed on. Now, this is very, very, but really, really interesting. Mrs. Marcia was saying this as well on Sunday, and I found it intriguing because sometimes a person desires the death of someone who offended them or who hurt them, the perpetrator who caused them that miserable pain which you or whoever that person is might be facing. But I want to say something to you, and I want you to keep this clear. Make this clear to you, brother. Just because that person might pass on doesn't mean that you're going to overcome it. Or just because something bad happens to that person doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to always feel better about it. I want you to understand that as long as you're holding a grudge, that person is kind of like, controlling your mind. That person is living, as we mentioned, rent-free in your mind and just being free to at times the person doesn't even know. I've seen instances, I've seen situations where a person will have a big issue with someone. And that person doesn't even know the first has an issue with him. A person will hate another without even letting that person know why they hate her. Maybe the person did it knowingly, or maybe the person did it unconsciously. But there are people who actually hold on to a grudge without even, without the perpetrator, the offender, even knowing. And that offender, if I could call it, whether he knows or not, as we just mentioned, lives rent-free in that person's mind. And everything, the person will even keep tracking, let me be here on social media and check what's going on in his life and find out what's going on in her life. I hope, oh my goodness, she bought a car. I hope she crashes in that car. Naturally, that person is controlling you here. You're seeing the success of that person or whatever is happening to that person. And I repeat, I know that there are people who, they did nasty things. And it might be true that that person does not deserve that so-called good thing that's happening in his or her life. Maybe that's what you perceive in your world, but that does not give us the right to wish anybody bad. And most importantly, I want you to remember that that person has power over you. The fact that you're so worried about knowing what's happening in his or her life, the fact that you're there always wishing bad for that person, you're always there hoping that this person can suffer more and more and more, goes to show that person has some sort of a joystick in your life, some sort of a controller in your life, and this person has the power to say A, B, or C, and you might not even be aware of it. Be careful. There's another heavy burden. So you don't move fast in life, which is the first one. It weighs you down. You're bitter, maybe hurt, resentful. You're even stuck to the past or stuck in your life in general, because you're afraid of taking risks because of what that person did. That weight is holding you down. You're losing the challenge. The person might be living rent-free in your life. And the third one, you might not know this. If you do know, well, we're going to talk more about it. If you don't know, you're going to get to know now. Studies show that hanging on to grudges can really mess with one's mental and physical health, leading to things like feeling down, anxious, and even causing physical problems like high blood pressure. You're holding on to a weight here that can even affect your health, your physical health. Is it really worth doing that to yourself? So you see, the weight is emotional, the weight is mental, person's living rent-free in your mind. And the weight is also physical, because some people even suffer with high blood pressure and probably other sources of diseases because of that high blood pressure, or maybe other source of sicknesses and physical disabilities which are caused because of a grudge, simply because you refuse to forgive. And I'm not here to point fingers at anybody because, like I said, guys and ladies, my dear YPG fam, or maybe not yet YPG fam, but whoever you're watching this live, I want to say to you that that grudge is hurting you more than him or her. That grudge is destroying you. It is like termites on wood. It's eating up that wood. I don't know if you've seen termites. I'm gonna ask the team to have it ready here for you guys to see. A termite destroying wood. That's exactly what it does. And that's exactly what grudge might be doing to you. That weight might be doing to you. It might be destroying you. It might be causing you to frown so much that you look like a bitter person. You're such a beautiful person. You're such a handsome guy. You have this radiance inside of you, so special, but it is being hidden by that grudge that is killing you inside out. It's time to let go of it. And this is what the YPG fam is here to attend to you and to assist you with, is to tell you that you can let go of it. I'm not here to say that you should become buddies with whoever hurt you. I'm not saying you should become chummies now with that person. What I'm saying to you is free yourself from what has happened. What I'm saying to you is you don't have to keep holding on to what is hurting and destroying you and eating you up inside out. That's exactly what I'm trying to say to you. Bishop was sharing something very important on Sunday, and allow me to reiterate what he said. He said, if the perpetrator committed a crime against you, it doesn't mean you don't have to lay charges or you should drop the charges, because otherwise that person's not going to stop doing what he or she did. Hopefully, wait on the law. Hopefully there will be a law against taking place, bringing justice against that person. But whether the laws of men take its toll and actually bring justice against that person for your sake or not, that does not mean that you don't have to heal yourself and free yourself from what you're feeling. Just because somebody did something to you and you might be laying charges against that person doesn't mean that you should not free yourself from what you are feeling or what you carry, what you harbor against that person. This is what I want you to think, because your future, your dreams, and anything which perhaps you would like to achieve might be stagnant, it might be stuck, specifically because of this. Specifically because you are holding on to this weight. So it's a heavyweight challenge. My question is, are you in to win that challenge? It's time to let go. Maybe you've been holding on to this Are you down for the challenge? Because maybe you've been holding on to this pain, to this weight for way too long. Maybe you've been holding on to it and it's just been weighing you down. It's just been an anchor holding you where you're meant to be, far, sailing great oceans and the great seas out there. So I want you to think about this and consider your future, consider your life, consider your dreams, consider where you should be in your life right now. Stop allowing what's holding you down to keep holding you down. Stop permitting what people have been doing to you to hurt you. Because maybe because of one offender, everything people do around you hurts you. Maybe when somebody tells you, hey, speaks a little bit tougher with you, hey, don't do that. Now you're already hurt. You're even emotional about it because of what somebody else did. You might say, PJ, what you're saying is easier said than done. You're right. It is easier said than done. Because I'm not facing what you might be facing. I'm not going through or might not be going through what you are going through right now. But because it's easier said than done doesn't mean that it is impossible. So I want to say to you, if you need the help of the YPG fam, in the course of this week, I've requested the mentors and the coordinators to avail themselves to help you, to assist you, to give you their attention for those of you who would like to heal. If you want to DM us, get in touch with us. DM us. Maybe you don't want to, expose yourself before people. You just want to speak to us telephonically. It's all good. The YPG fam is here for you. I want you to understand that what you're facing right now is something that perhaps we have faced before. But as we've made it, you can make it too. So reach out to us, look for help, speak to your coordinator. Those of you who are in one of our branches, as the Something Extra will end, look for your coordinator, look for your mentor, whether now or after the 5 p.m. service. Speak to them and say, listen, I've been going through a lot. I've been struggling with this that's been holding me down, and I really need help. We are here to help you. The smiles you see in the YPG, it's genuine. And the friendliness that we have for you guys is genuine. Although sometimes we gotta confront you and tell you what's real. You know, we gotta give you the raw talk, unfiltered. That's what it's gotta happen sometimes. But it's always out of a good heart, seeking to give the best to you guys and taking you guys where you're meant to go, because it's time for you to take off. All right, so do chat to us, look for help. I repeat, if you want to DM us, we'll get our mentors or coordinators the best possible to assist you. If we need more help, we will look for help, but as long as you are helped, then we will be happy. All right, on Saturday we're going to be back with another Vibe O'Clock, and we're going to be talking about something very important. Although next week we're going to continue talking a bit more and sharing a few more tips based on this subject. We are going to talk about it. But Saturday, I'm going to be back here with the fam. Not forgetting that we are officially kicking off the YPG Champions League. Oof, this is going to be superb. And our fam from the grounds is going to be versing our fams from Park Station. Who do you think is going to take it? What do you think is going to be the scoreline? It's going to be for football and it's going to be netball. I think chess and running as well. People, this is going to be awesome. It's going to be huge. I hope you guys are ready for it. I just can't wait for what's going to be happening. All right. So we meet soon. And checking the time. You got it right. It's time to take off. We out of here.